All right, I was reading this email this morning from this pastor I follow. He just has very applicable stuff, easy to understand. He's just a really good writer. But long story short on it was just really alluding to the lion versus the lamb. And I think of this in so many ways, like they always talk about with Jesus, like lion and lamb. And what's that mean and how does it apply? And I think of this in my own life in the fact that there's times you need to be the lion. You need to lead. You need to have a little bit of ferociousness to you. You need to set the standard. You need to hold the line. You need to stand for people when they can't stand for themselves. Like those are all things that we equate to a man, if you want to call it that type of thing. And honestly, most of us, I mean, it's seen in heroic type films. It's seen in the things that we applaud in society in many cases on there. And I think that there's a line with it though. And I think I've crossed it in many cases as well too, where you hold such a firm line that I'm the lion, I'm the alpha, I am the standard here with it, that it makes others feel as though they can't lead because you don't create space for them. It also can make people feel like they're not good enough, or they don't hold the line as well, therefore they can't run in your pack, your tribe, whatever you want to call it. And I think that's just a really, really big thing we have to start to, especially as men, to be aware of, is when do we cross that line as a lion type of thing. And when you start to understand that, and honestly, like, and this goes for me as well too, like, you really don't get that awareness until you do cross the line. You get that feedback that you need. And hopefully you got people around you as well in your life that they're capable of giving that feedback when you need it. And they're not going to withhold it because of the fact they don't want to hurt your feelings. They don't want to scar you in some way. Because at the end of the day, like, that doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve them. It's going to push them further away, and there's going to be separation at that point. But understand that there's a line. And that line changes based upon circumstances in life. It changes based upon the people you're around. There's some people you can hold a firmer line with. You can lead a little bit more firmly. You can push them, per se, pull them in a way you couldn't do that with somebody else because of their insecurities on there. So understand that. And I think of that with the other half of this is the lamb component of it. Like, what is that, and why do men struggle with that? And I think we equate the lamb component of this to being weak. Is why do I need to be soft and tender? Why do I need to be compassionate? Why do I need to take a back seat? Why can't I lead all the time? And I think of this from a context of Jesus. And in many cases, like he always talks about it, like the last become first, serve in so many different capacities, love first in so many ways. Love is the number one rule that he teaches across all lessons, across all contexts in the Bible that Jesus is involved with. Love is first. And I think of that. It's not that a lion can't love, but a lion in many cases leads hard and loves harder to see and harder to feel. Whereas the lamb component of it, it is more tender. It is more loving. It is more comfortable, for lack of a better way to describe it on there. And I think that's the thing is, like, we as men, we have to be able to put ourselves in that spot. You have to be able to take off the lion mask, per se, the lion costume in your life, and you got to be a lamb. You got to be a lamb with people when they're hurt. You got to be a lamb with people that are close to you on there. Again, this is where I've messed up in a lot of different cases because you put the one hat on and you think, here's who I am. I'm the lion. And being the lamb, that's not who I am. That's weakness. That's again, a secondary thing, not a primary. There's two primaries. And I think that's the thing is, like, if you can continue to gain awareness of where those situations in your life you need to be the lion, and where those situations need to be the lamb. Where's that lamb need to show up for those people around you? Where's that lamb need to show up for you? Do you give yourself any grace? Do you give yourself any slack for the fact that, today I need to be a lamb for myself. I need to lick my wounds a little bit. I need to have some compassion for myself. I missed the mark yesterday. I don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about myself. I need to be a lamb today on that. I just need to love on myself. I need to accept myself where I'm at. I'm going to be okay with that on there. Because that's how I heal. That's how I grow. It also allows me, when I do that, I can be a better lion when I need to at that point. So Understand that dichotomy. Like, it's not one or the other in your life. It is both. And when you neglect one, you neglect the other as well. When you're out of balance, that's when things don't work. I've been there. I get there quite often in many cases. And that's the problem, is that if you don't recognize that, you're going to dig yourself a massive pit. And both the lamb and the lion are wounded in that pit or die in that pit. So again, balance is a necessity. Understanding awareness is a necessity. And being willing to shift when you need to shift, because you need to show up differently, not for yourself necessarily, but for the people around you on there. That's what dictates the lion and the lamb. Jesus was others focused first. He was solid here so he could be others focused there. Then he could figure out how he had to show up. And how he showed up is with the way the impact was made. Sometimes firm like a lion. Sometimes soft like a lamb. You know what I'm talking about.